This is now one of the best items in the game. This is not a joke, it is not April Fool's. The furnace minecart is actually overpowered now. So what happened? Why is the worst item in the game suddenly one of the best? Well, I'm glad you asked. Before you watch, please like the video, it really helps me out a lot. And subscribe if you want. Now let's get into it. One of my first ever videos on YouTube was a Let's Play series where I attempted to use a furnace minecart in my mine while mining for diamonds. I still remember how much of a hassle it was to set up and how slow and frustrating it was. These things really suck. The funny part is, in that video, I was actually trying my best to prove that they could be useful. For those of you who don't know, the furnace minecart is sort of like a train engine. You can put coal or charcoal into it and it begins to travel on its own. It can pull other minecarts behind it like a train, which I actually really like the idea of, if it wasn't so painfully slow. The furnace minecart travels for 180 seconds each time you add a coal to it, and it can hold up to 9 coal at once. That means you can put 9 coal into it, and it will slowly crawl along like the immortal snail for 30 minutes until it finally runs out of fuel. Or, at least it would, if it didn't stop moving the moment it left your render distance. Mojang, if you're watching this, please, make furnace minecarts load chunks, or add a chunk loader minecart, or something. Anyways, so far this entire video has been about me showing you how terribly awful the furnace minecart is. But I told you at the start of the video that the furnace minecart is one of the best items in the game. Well, the reason for that is that there are two tiny little details that I discovered about the furnace minecart that are absolute game changers. Now, to understand how insanely powerful furnace minecarts are, you need to know what a precision missile is. I'm going to very briefly explain how it works. If you want a more thorough explanation, I recommend my most recent video where I explain precision missiles in a lot of detail. In Minecraft, you can make a missile using flying machines. The missile works by detecting when it crashes into something, and then it detonates a TNT payload. The problem is that the missile can only go straight, and it has to directly crash into the target. If there are any obstructions in its path, it's just not happening. A precision missile is a missile that solves this problem by adding a timer to the missile. It's basically like a flying time bomb. The problem is, it's a lot easier to make a timer that doesn't move than one that can move. Since Mojang really doesn't want to make chests movable in Java Edition, we have to find some weird workarounds to make a timer movable. So, now that you know what a precision missile is, you can now understand how huge this furnace minecart discovery is. What if I told you it is now easier to make a precision missile than it is to make a standard TNT missile? By harnessing the power of the furnace minecart, I've designed the new smallest TNT missile, smallest precision missile, fastest precision missile, and the smallest 2-axis precision missile. Let me introduce you to the new age of Minecraft missiles. In order for a precision missile to function, you need 3 things: a payload, a detonator, and a timer. As you can see, the options for a timer are pretty huge and bulky, and it needs a lot of resources. With the new furnace minecart discoveries, here is the new size of the smallest timer. Oh, oops. Sorry, what I just showed you is the old, outdated version from last month. Here is the new smallest timer. Now, you might be wondering, where did the detonator and payload go? I thought you said we needed those too. Well, you're looking at them. This little thing that you see right here is not just a fully controllable flight timer, but also the detonator and the payload. Are you starting to see how insane this all is? Here is a small, compact, simple flying machine. Here is a fully functioning precision bomber missile with up to 4,000 blocks of range. Oh, but it doesn't stop there. We can strap this thing to any flying machine engine and it will still work. Here's a fast flying machine that moves at a zippy 4 blocks per second. Let's make it into a precision missile. And done. This is now the fastest precision missile ever made. Not much to it, is there? And the cool part is, since we're using a furnace minecart as a timer, this design would actually have an increased max range of 8,000 blocks. But let's keep going. What other insane things do you think we can do with a furnace minecart? Right here is a 2-axis precision missile. This is the one you guys have been asking me for a long time, and here it is. And it's really simple. It uses a furnace minecart timer to control how far it travels in the first direction, and then a second timer to control how far it goes in the second direction. Because it uses a furnace minecart for both timers, its possible targeting area makes a diamond shape a bit like this. It can hit any block inside of this diamond shape. Any block. So how exactly does this all work? It's not like furnace minecarts have been updated anytime recently, so why is this only just now possible? Well, all of this came about when I was doing some very scientific experiments with different types of minecarts, and I made 2 major discoveries. Discovery number 1. When a minecart on a powered rail runs into a wall, it will bounce off the wall and start moving in the other direction. Furnace minecarts do that too, but something interesting happens if it has coal in it. The furnace minecart will run into the wall, and then stay there, constantly running into it. When the coal runs out, it will then bounce off the wall and start moving in the other way. Discovery number 2. Multiple minecarts can occupy the same block simply by placing them on the same rail. Any number of minecarts of any type can occupy a single block. When a furnace minecart is included, and it is given coal, all of the other minecarts will move along with it. So using these 2 discoveries, I invented this extremely compact and movable payload drop timer. It is extremely simple. You build it a bit like this. Place a redstone block with a powered rail on top. Next to it, place a slime or honey block, and on top of that, put a regular block. Make sure that the rail is running into the regular block. Put a temporary block on the other end of the rail. Next, place a single furnace minecart. Now place some TNT minecarts on the rail. More TNT minecarts equals more boom. If you plan to have your missile very high above the target, only place 1 TNT minecart. This is because stacked TNT minecarts for some reason set themselves off in midair after they fall a certain number of blocks. There is a way to work around this, which I will be explaining in a later tutorial video. Put coal in the furnace minecart so it runs into the regular block. Now the timer is armed. Break the temporary block. The whole setup can now be moved by any sort of flying machine. Depending on what type of flying machine you want to attach this to, you may have to change up the setup a little bit. That's something I will also be explaining in a later tutorial. When the furnace minecart runs out of fuel, it will fall off the flying machine, bringing all of the TNT minecarts with it. With this new invention, precision missiles are no longer huge complicated setups, or even just large machines at all. They are now just a little thing you can strap onto a flying machine as an afterthought. You can even put multiple of these things on a flying machine, and have it automatically drop a payload at multiple different points along its path. This new invention has insane potential, and I'm really excited to see the creative ways this ends up being used. The full tutorial will be out soon, and for now, goodbye.